Hello guys, welcome into today's crypto technical analysis. In today's video we will be looking at the BTC, Ethereum and other few altcoins. But before we start, if you guys are learning and enjoying from the contents, do not forget to like the video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe and activate the bell so you do not miss the accurate market update. Starting from a weekly time frame, as I mentioned in the last couple of weeks, we had a primary level for the weekly time frame. It was around $36.5 and $37,500. As soon as you can see that we broke with this massive candle, we went all the way up to the 46,000 was our another resistance. However, on the higher time frame, as you remember, after 46 we had 48,000, and as well as the next levels, which was a high time frame Fibonacci, was around after the $46,000 we had another level which was around $48,000. However, after that we had around another Fibonacci, very important level of the Fibonacci 618, that was around $51,000. So if we're going to analyze the weekly time frame, as you can see, after 4 weeks these bullish candles, we are getting the red candle. However, this is the starting of the week. We've got 5 days, 9 hours to close this candle, and even if we're going to close the weekly candle above 48,000, we've got this 51,000, as you saw just now, 618 Fibonacci level. That's going to give us a fake out, and then we can expect a correction in the market. But in order to do that analysis, we need to move on to a lower time frame, a daily time frame. You're well aware of these levels that we've been following over 2 months. We're at the moment 0.5 Fibonacci level, high time frame, and as you can see, I warned about this deviation, this fake out, via Twitter account on the lower time frame. So as you can see, the resistance, that's what I called 2 months ago, that this resistance number 3 is the major one. So again, that we got kind of stuck in this region since the 9th of August. So nearly 10 days, as you can see, we got stuck. As I said in the previous videos, once we held on the lower time frame, this level of $30,000 and $31,000 lower time frame started giving us a bullish signal. However, on the daily time frame, the primary level was breaking this support number 1. It gave a hope to the market that we're going to go up, and then once we got a rejection and then held this resistance number 1, daily time frame moved to the consolidation, which was a great sign under a higher time frame. So at the moment, as I said, if we're going to hold the lower line of this major resistance, maybe we had a chance to go and test maximum all the way up to $50,000 and $51,000, and still daily time frame is consolidating nicely around this area. Moving on to 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, around 24th and 25th of July, once we held the level of $33,000 and $34,000, 4-hour time frame moved towards the bullish territory. And if you're a swing trader, and then swing trade supposed to be taken at around these levels, and that provided to us over 40% spot profit. As you remember, we've been targeting, once we broke that level, the resistance number 1 as well as the resistance number 2, and then in the recent videos I was started targeting the resistance number 3. So I like to play level to level. Without losing a support, I will keep raising my stop losses, and that's what I've been talking in this channel. At the moment, 4-hour is heavily under the bull's control. However, as you can see, one after another, these are the rejections under a higher and mid time frames as well. If we're going to lose in the next 48 to 72 hours the lower line of this, the major resistance, 4-hour will start going into the consolidation zone. However, it is slightly early for us to talk about it. In order to analyze that, we need to look into lower time frames. Before we move on to lower time frames, if you want to learn all this technical analysis what I'm showing, and if you want to become an independent professional trader, or you're interested in the institutional trading system, you can message me via Telegram at Magnate8, and one-on-one intense masterclass is available where I'm going to teach you how to make these profits, and it only takes you 5 to 10 hours to master this all. And during the course you will learn day trading, i.e. scalping, swing, and as well as the long-term as an investor trading systems. Moving on to 2-hour time frame. 2-hour bullish signal came once we broke the lower line of this support number 1, which was acting as a resistance in that time. So since then, once we broke in this region, 2-hour entered into consolidation. However, it didn't give a bearish signal, and as you remember how we played this signal, as soon as we held the lower line of this resistance number 1, 2-hour again went back to the bullish territory. So without getting into bear zone, once we broke the lower line of this support number 1, we targeted all the way up to the resistance number 3, and that provided over 40% spot profit. And if you're a leverage trader, 10 times maximum 400%, 5 times 200% profit. The current condition of 2-hour time frame is entering into a consolidation zone. However, if we're going to lose the lower line of this resistance number 3, 2-hour will be under the bear's control, and then I will be closely watching this resistance number 2 and then resistance number 1. To talk about this resistance number 1, it's slightly early for us at the moment. Moving on to 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, by breaking, as you remember, 46,500, 46,300, which I mentioned in the previous videos, once we close below, if we close 3 to 5 candles, then 1-hour time frame will be heavily under the bear's control, and it already started giving us a bearish signal. So in the first place, as I said, I'll be closely watching the lower line of this resistance. Moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum is still similar as a BTC. Once we held with a $9 difference, as you can see, upper line of this support, we tested perfectly on the lower time frame. Since then, lower time frame started giving us a bullish signal. However, on the 4-hour time frame, if you're a swing trader, once we broke the support number 1, as well as that was a very important level of the Fibonacci 4-hour time frame, started flashing a bullish signal. So on the way, we were targeting the resistance number 1, and as well as the resistance number 3, and then resistance number 3. At the same time, via Twitter, I added recently the resistance number 4. And as you can see, week to week, nearly dollar to dollar rejection in the last couple of days from the lower line of this resistance number 4. For an instant and market updates, also I started providing altcoin setups. You can follow me via Twitter, the Magnate. In the last couple of days, I provided this signal for the comp, and we had already, after retesting, 20% spot profit. And as you can see, perfect retest with a $1 difference, and then support held. Since then, we started moving towards the upside. So if we're calculating from the upper line of this support number 2, once you targeted the resistance number 1, that provided nearly 50% spot profit. The resistance number 2 provided 63% spot profit. And then resistance number 3, over 75% profit. By targeting slightly lower levels, you could have been already up by nearly 95% spot profit. And again, if you're a leverage trader, 10 times 900%, 5 times could be 450% profit. Moving on to 4-hour time frame. 4-hour is heavily under the bull's control. In the coming days, I'll be keep an eye on to this resistance number 3. If we're going to hold this resistance number 3, highly likely we will go all the way up to the upper line of this resistance number 4, and that will give us nearly from the bottom 100% or plus spot profit. However, it is slightly early for us to talk about this level, but losing this resistance number 2 in the coming 3 to 5 days, then 4-hour will be under the bear's control. As I said, it is very early for us to talk about these levels. Moving on to 2-hour time frame. On the 2-hour time frame, similar scenario as a BTC, 2-hour is entering into a consolidation territory. But in the next 24 to 48 hours, if we're going to lose this resistance number 3, then 2-hour will be under the bear's control. We need to closely watch the 4-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame. Again, if we're going to lose 3,200 level with a clear confirmation, 1-hour time frame will be moving towards the bear's control. However, again, this resistance number 3 is going to be the heavy for the bears to break. In the next 24 to 72 hours, I'm going to closely watch this resistance number 3. On the 11th of August, I shared this signal, and as I mentioned that this resistance number 1, which is a first target level, and the next one is going to be the resistance number 2. However, this resistance number 1 was heavily under the bear's control, and it's not going to be easy for the bulls to break. So as you can see, we had 20% spot profit. However, we couldn't break the resistance number 1. We might test the upper line of this resistance number 1 if the BTC will start pumping with the Ethereum, but it will be so hard for bulls to break this upper line of this resistance number 1. Also, I want to draw your attention that this support line was around $442 and retested with a $440, less than $1-2 difference. We held this support, and since then we went all the way up to the target level. So the first target hit perfectly. We came to an end of this episode, and if you guys enjoyed it, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.